Step right up and welcome to another riveting episode of Movie NP, the vlog where we review movies and analyze them for success and self help tips. Tonight's review and analysis is Heretic 2024. It's written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. It stars Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. The general description of the film is it's 1 hour 50 minutes long. It's rated R. It carries an IMDb rating of 7.3 out of 10. It's currently only showing in theaters. It is available for pre-sale through Amazon Prime and Fandango at home/voodoo.com. So apparently when Hugh is not getting caught with hookers on Hollywood Boulevard, he's one hell of an actor. I really like the guy. Serious. I'd love to see him get nominated or winning some type of award for this film. All I can say is wow. I just got back from seeing it. I thought this film was phenomenal from beginning to end. If I was a team of famous movie critics, I'd be giving this two toilet seats up. I mean, two thumbs up. So, spoiler alert, I'll give you the basic plot of the film here, but I'm not going to reveal the end. I mean, I just think it's too good, and I really encourage you to get out and see the film. Heretic is a very tense psychological thriller. Hugh Grant plays Mr. Reed. The plot unfolds as two missionaries, initially comforted by Mr. Reed's friendly demeanor, quickly realizes they have made a huge mistake. Reed uses charm laced with menace to engage them in a twisted theological debate. I think one of the reasons I enjoyed this film so much is it is very deep and possesses some very interesting questions. I think anyone will enjoy the film, but if you like intellectual films that make you think, Heretic is for you. By the way, the definition for heretic is a person believing in or practicing religious heresy. The film is crafted with eerie suspense, blending religious debate with horror elements, which culminates in a narrative that's both entertaining and thought provoking. Heretic adds layers of psychological horror, examining how ideas can be weaponized in manipulative and dangerous ways. So the film opens when we meet Sisters Barnes and Sisters Paxton, two young Mormon missionaries out to find people interested in converting to the religion. They have a list of prospects they plan to visit and evangelize to. One of these is Mr. Reed, a friendly and late middle aged man. They arrive at Mr. Reed's home, whom they apparently have met before. They ask if he is still interested in the Mormon religion, and he says that he is. It begins to storm heavily, so he invites them in. They tell him they can't come in unless there's a female present. He tells them that his wife is in the kitchen baking a pie. So Mr. Reed invites them in into the living room and takes their coats, but soon after the initial polite introductions, the conversation takes a sharp, probing turn as he questions becomes more personal and ultimately begins to question their beliefs. Becoming increasingly uncomfortable, the girls insist that they meet his wife. He replies that he will go ask her to come in and serve the pie. So he heads down a hall of the home and disappears into the darkness. He returns a few moments later to tell them that his wife can't come out, but they are welcome to come back to meet her. He again disappears down this darkened corridor. The girls at this time feel it's best to leave, but when they try to do so, they find that the front door will not open. They build up the courage to head down the same darkened corridor that Mr. Reed did to ask him for help opening the door. They reach another room that appears to be part study, part living room, and part church chapel. They ask Mr. Reed to help them open the front door so they can leave. He replies that this is impossible because the front door is on some time lock and it will not open until morning. He, however, tells them that they are welcome to leave at any time, but they must leave out the back door of the home. The girls notice that there are two different doors, and they question Mr. Reed about this, and he tells them that they must choose one door or the other. As the girls become more and more obviously upset, Reed's questions grow more intense, challenging their faith and implying hidden, twisted philosophies on life control and religion. Reed's discussions shift to manipulation and psychological testing, forcing the sisters to question their beliefs and themselves. What starts as a theological debate becomes a sadistic game. He asks if they want his help in choosing a door, and they tell him yes. He helps them, quote unquote, by writing believe on one door and disbelieve on the other, and asks them to choose the doors based on their faith. After some further debate, the girls choose to follow their faith and leave through the door marked by believe, with the belief that they're putting their hands in God's hands. However, when they open the door, they discover a dark pair of stairs that leads further down into the darkness. They begin to head down the stairs that I believe is a symbolism for the descent into the abyss or into hell. At the bottom, they find the stairs lead to a cellar, but quickly they discover there's no obvious exits. Mr. Reed slams the door closed and locks them down in the cellar. We next see Mr. Reed pull out a model of the home that makes it clear that the home has intentionally been built to be a maze. This reminds me of the hotel H.H. Holmes had built for his own diabolical reasons. Soon after, the door opens in the cellar, and a very creepy robed thing, for lack of a better term, comes out with a pie. Reed tells them that this thing is a prophet and he needs them to witness a miracle. He tells them that the pie is poisoned, and after this thing eats it, it will die and will be resurrected soon after, thus proving proof of God in the afterlife. The thing eats the pie and falls dead soon after. Immediately following this, there's a knock on the door, on Reed's front door. He leaves to go answer the door to find it's one of the church elders looking for the girls. While he's distracted, the girls run back up the stairs and attempt to break out. Reed quickly convinces them that he has never seen them and returns. The girls then run back down into the cellar. At this point, the thing that ate the pie comes back to life and tells Sister Paxton what the experience was like and what the afterlife looks like. So, as promised, I'm not going to go further. I'm going to stop here. I just feel that this movie is way too good to reveal anything further. But let's get into the success and life hacks. But before we get started, I have to give my usual disclaimer. What I'm about to discuss is for general purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose or treat anyone's conditions. Speak to your healthcare provider. Only you and your healthcare provider can determine the best course of action for you. So the movie Heretic is primarily a psychological horror that explores dark themes around control, faith, and manipulation. While it's not a traditional life hack film, some lessons can be drawn from the character's experience with resilience, caution, and survival. So number 10, trust your instincts in uncomfortable situations. Throughout the movie, the missionaries feel uneasy around Mr. Reed early on. There's all types of clues and red flags that something's not right, but they just seem to ignore them. Recognizing and trusting these initial instincts can be a value life skill, especially in situations where someone may feel pressured or threatened. Listen to that inner sense of discomfort can prevent deeper entanglement and harmful environments. Number 9, stay calm under psychological pressure. Reed manipulates the characters by questioning their beliefs and using intimidation. Staying mentally resilient and grounded in your own beliefs and values can be an effective way to resist pressure. Developing mindfulness or grounding techniques can help maintain clarity in challenging interactions. So, colleagues have told me that they wish they could stay calm like I do in crisis situations. But I've been honest with them and told them I'm really not all that calm. I just compose myself really well, and it looks that way on the outside, but really inside is a whole different story. But what makes the difference for me is confidence and training. So in a fight or flight situation, there's also a third state that typically we call freezing, but now we believe that freezing isn't really a state of paralysis, but it's a state of planning. But in a crisis situation, we don't have time to plan. And the more upset we get, the less resources are devoted to the brain and to think and reasoning. But if you have the proper training, you go into automatic mode. That saves precious time, and the likelihood of freezing is significantly reduced. Training is very, very important. This is why police, military, first responders, and medical personnel require so much training. The goal of training, after enough drills, things become automatic. This is how katas work in martial arts. You practice these dance like martial arts moves so you can jump right into auto mode and handle a situation and defend yourself. Learning to stay calm under pressure is a learned skill. This is not natural for anyone, but there are ways to learn to stay calm under pressure. Number 8, teamwork and resourcefulness in high stress situations. The missionaries work together and rely on each other for support and strategic thinking. This reinforces the value of teamwork and using each other's strengths to problem solve. In tough situations, leaning on reliable people can increase chances of success and reduce feelings of isolation. Number 7, learn self defense basics. The film highlights the value of basic self defense skills. Having some level of self protection training can be empowering, especially when faced with unpredictable, threatening individuals. Look, I believe everyone should take some form of self defense classes. I guarantee that the bad guys know some offensive skills. So, working in locked psych units for the majority of my career, I've been choked, punched. I've had people 2 to 3 times my size standing nose to nose threatening me. And if I wouldn't have had training on how to handle that, I would have been seriously injured multiple times. So seek out some training. It's always a good thing. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. 6, understand people's motives. Not everyone who smiles is your friend. Reed's twisted motives unfold gradually, teaching that understanding others' intentions, especially when they're being manipulative, can be key to counteracting their influence. Awareness of red flags in others' behavior can be protective. Also, be careful of what personal information you give. I know way too many people that just tell you way too much about themselves. Unfortunately, there are unfriendly people out there that are looking for easy marks. And in addition, please stop checking in on social media everywhere you go. All you're doing is allowing someone to learn your patterns. And I really caution anyone posting pics of their kids. They're just, in the field that I work in, what I've seen, I just would not do it. If you really want your friends to see your kids, show them the pics on your phone. Or if you have family that you want to see pics, I know this is a crazy idea here, but print out your pictures and give them to some family members so there's no digital signature. Remember, no matter how secure your social media platform might be, the minute you post anything online, it's out there in the public domain forever, and anyone who wants to do anything with it, they can. 5, be cautious and observant. The missionaries' interactions with Mr. Reed teach a valuable lesson about being wary in unfamiliar environments. Observing your surroundings and picking up on subtle cues like the unsettling vibe of Reed's house can help you assess risks before they escalate. Being vigilant, particularly in new situations, can be a powerful tool for personal safety. And closely related to number 4, always have an exit strategy. In a literal and metaphoric sense, having an escape plan is crucial. The characters' fight to break free from Reed's control underscores the value of preparing countermeasures, especially in unfamiliar or high risk settings. Planning ahead provides options in case of an emergency or unexpected turn of events. So, some ways you can do this is Learn the emergency exits and the places that you frequent, places, stores that you go to, theaters that you go to, your work, the building that you work in. Learn those emergency exits. Pay attention to where and how you park. Park in lighted areas. You'll notice that the police and military often back into parking spots so they can quickly get out. When visiting a restaurant or cafe, sit facing the exit or the front door. You'll be able to respond much more quickly if you see someone walk in who doesn't have the best intentions in mind. And if you use cabs or ride sharing apps, make sure that the child locks are off on those back doors before you get in. Otherwise, you'll never be able to open the door from the inside. And pre-plan, think about it. What would you do if things went bad with the driver? How would you get out of that situation? 3. Stay true to your beliefs, but know when to adapt. The missionaries face intense scrutiny about their beliefs, but those who remain centered and thoughtful fare better. Having a strong sense of self and principles can help navigate difficult or manipulative environments. However, adaptability and critical thinking are equally important when faced with adversity. Remember, it's the most adaptable that survive, not the strongest and not the smartest, the most adaptable. 2. Be prepared to challenge authority. Reed's oppressive influence over his followers highlights the importance of questioning authority when it appears unjust or dangerous. Success can sometimes require courage to stand up to figures of power, particularly if they misuse their influence. Remember that trust your instincts. If you're uncomfortable with someone or something, push away that feeling of embarrassment or that desire to be polite and speak up or act. And consider this. It's far better to be judged by 12 of your peers than to be carried by 6. And number 1, use critical thinking to identify manipulation. Reed's charismatic yet coercive behaviors teaches a crucial lesson in critical thinking. By recognizing the techniques he used to manipulate others, the character gradually finds ways to counter his influence. Recognizing manipulative tactics such as gaslighting or intimidation is an important life skill that can protect against undue influence, and never stand for it or allow yourself to be abused. Speak up, call them out. Truth is always revealed in the light. So these success tips from Heretic highlight resilience, critical thinking, and the importance of remaining grounded and adaptable, especially in the face of unexpected challenges. Well, that's it for today, folks. Please click like and subscribe and share with a friend. Comment below your thoughts. Let me know what you might be struggling with and if there's a film that you would like me to review. Join me next week. And don't be a creep. Go see this movie. Have a good night. Pleasant nightmares.